Hi, this is Scott. Welcome back to another Hollinger Team video blog. This question that we have for this video blog is one that comes from a couple different sources. One is from people that are getting ready to sell and perhaps staging or packing in anticipation of moving, or they're actually getting ready to close on a sale and are in the moving and the packing process. It also comes from children helping family members, typically older family members that are downsizing, or even for family members that have passed away and they have property that has a lot of personal things there. And last is the group that's doing some spring cleaning and is just also asking the same question. That question is, what do we do with all this stuff? And there's a number of options, and all of them have pros and cons, and that's kind of what I wanted to start out with. And what kind of brought it to light for me was helping my wife's parents, who have been in their home for 40 years, downsize to something half that size. And the process that we've been through and some of the things we've learned, I thought I'd share those with you. And so the options are packing everything up, which involves getting some boxes. And the recommendation I would make is that buy boxes that are all uniform size, because first off, they're easy to stack and easy to handle, and you can get them in a size that won't be too heavy. There's some great resources for boxes. U-Haul sells boxes. One of the other resources that you can look around online sometimes is Craigslist. People will advertise boxes for free and things like that. There are some moving services also, like U-Haul or even moving companies that will provide workers with trucks and provide storage for a length of time if you need, or you can use a mini storage and pack it yourself and move it yourself type thing. One of the other options that we exercised fairly liberally moving out of a large home that had been occupied for 40 years is we brought in a dumpster, and which sounds a little rash, but believe me, when it comes to downsizing and taking a look at things that have been collected over 40 years, a fair amount of it's going to probably go into a dumpster. So there are dumpster services. They will come and deliver. They come in different sizes, and so you can order and they'll drop it off, leave it there, and then you can call and have it picked up. The cost difference between the small and the large is not great, so I always would say better to have a little extra room than trying to figure out how to jump on things and compact it down and that kind of thing. The other thing you can do, especially, which is kind of not for a whole bunch of things, but for a few things, back to Craigslist, they have a free section there. If you take a picture with your phone, you can post it there and advertise it for free, or if you want to sell it for some money, you could do it that way too. But it's a great way of disposing just a few items. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to post stuff onto Craigslist. There are charities that will come and pick things up. And the downside of that is they won't take everything. So again, you're going to have to figure out how to either pack some things up to move, or how to dispose of things that just aren't wanted anymore. And there's a handful of different Goodwill services that'll take care of that. One of the other options for typically it's like furniture and things like that is auction, where you can have an auction house come in and they'll tell you what they can take to auction and what would actually sell. The downside of that, again, is that there'll be some personal things left over that the auction house just knows that they can't sell, and then you have to figure out what to do with that. Garage sales, if you are willing to go through that work, again, they're a little bit long, a little bit tedious, and you are going to end up with some things that are left over again, where you're going to have to figure out how to either pack them up, store them, dispose of them in some fashion. Typically at the end of a garage sale, you aren't going to get a charity that's going to take much of that. And then lastly, there's some estate services that will come in and either conduct a sale on the property or take everything out and sell it or dispose of it for you. I included the link to one that we have here. It's called Gone for Good, and they actually have a pretty unique service where they will come in and literally clean out an entire house, everything, and then dispose of those things that have little or no value. They do have a store that they will sell things that are of value, and they can recoup some of the cost of that move that way. If there's larger items that have greater value, they will do it on a commission basis so that you actually get some money back from that. And I know that it's somewhat negotiable with them as far as how big the house is, how much they're taking out, what they're going to sell, and things like that. And that you might discover is a great way to go if you just simply want to have everything taken out and not have to do a whole lot of planning on where some things go here and there type thing. Anyhow, hope this was helpful, food for thought, and I appreciate the questions that have been asked over time about that, and when it hit home with me, it really made me want to put out this video. If you found this helpful, please pass it on to friends, and please feel free to send back comments to me and suggestions on other questions. Love doing this. Thanks for viewing the Hollinger Team video blog.